Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to take this Chinese copy pedal that you probably all have seen on the internet. This is a copy of a KLON that you can get from China for somewhere around 15-20 bucks, somewhere around there, depending on where and when you get it, but you can find them on eBay and maybe even Amazon. I got this on eBay. It's really cool. I think this pedal sounds awesome. I can't tell you that it sounds like an original KLON because I've never played an original KLON, but I can tell you that this pedal is really cool. So if you're thinking of maybe getting it, I think you should, because I've been playing it for a couple of hours now. I just got it the day before today. Yesterday is another way of saying that. And I had so much fun that it was harder to stop playing than it was to play. And when it's like that, you know it's good. So yeah, I actually don't necessarily feel a need to open this up. But in today's video, we're gonna experiment with changing out the diodes and see what happens. I've done videos before where we change things out in different things. Usually we delve into the whole LM386 thing and mess around with those, but you can do this experiment with any pedal, and I thought the KLON has the mysterious diodes, you know, the whole, if you know about the original KLON, you know about the mysterious diodes in it. And so I was thinking, let's experiment and have fun with this one and just see what happens if we take out the two diodes that are clipping the signal and taking a look inside what you get with the pedal, all of that. And then we just experiment, play through a couple of different diodes and see if the diodes matters, if they don't matter, if we can maybe get nicer sound, you know. Maybe you should get yourself one of those really expensive KLONs, you know, the original ones for 5,000 American dollars or whatever. And change out the diodes for LEDs. I don't know, maybe that would be fun. Let's jump into this and take this apart and listen to it and just mess about and see if we find something cool or if we find something crazy or whatever happens. Sounds good? I think that sounds good. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really interested in the KLON circuit. It's an interesting thing. So let's jump in and take a look. All right, so here we have the pedal now. So flip it over, we take a screwdriver, and we take out these 4 screws right here. All right, so there we have it. Let's open this up and take a look inside. I haven't seen what it looks like, so it's gonna be cool to see. Oh yeah, there we have it. And I can immediately tell, there we have the 2 diodes that are gonna clip the circuit. You can tell that because they're oriented next to each other in opposite direction. I thought this was going to be more surface mounted parts and not through hole parts, but yeah, you clearly have all of the parts being nice. I'm gonna turn it over here, take a tiny little screwdriver, poke it in, and just release these little knobs. And you can tell that they have a little screw, which means that they are the wrong knobs for this sort of shaft because they're split, but it doesn't matter. If we want to, we can change the knobs for something else, but that would be later down the line. I'm at the moment not super concerned about the actual look of the pedal. If we do a bunch of mods to it or something, then we might want to change the way it looks to make it our own thing. There we go. Now we have the pedal out of its enclosure and we have all the rings put to one side. I don't think we need to take it out more than this, because all we need to do is to remove these 2 diodes that are right there, and then we can start messing about with it. There we have it. If you want to take a closer look, you can see what it looks like. You have the double pot right there, and you have the other 2 right there sticking through the board. It all looks really good. There are a couple of them, you can probably tell, that are a little wonky looking, just like how they didn't fit perfectly in snugly and neatly, but it's not like it matters that much. All right, so the first thing we need to do is try to remove these 2 diodes and get them out of the pedal. And as soon as I've got them out, I can look at them and see if I can see a name on them to see what they are. And now we just take a little bit of solder on our tip, and we take one of these and we just put it to one of these. It doesn't matter because of how the circuit works. which one we put where, but usually I have the black one be the ground. And there, and we put the other one here. Now, this is probably going to introduce a bit of noise, but I want you to just remember that when we have open circuits like this, we are introducing noise. So if you think that something I put on is technically better and sounds nicer, but you don't like that it's noisier, just remember that if you actually put them in place, the noise level will go down. So now we can basically put anything in between. When you look at this, you will see that there are two spaces to put them. And putting two diodes together, two of them next to each other like this, and just soldering the legs together will do the same thing. And that's why when I said it doesn't matter, it doesn't, because basically both those two connections are going to the same place. Both of these are bare and have no markings at all on them. So these are definitely mystery diodes too. So yeah, we'll put those together and make one little clipping diode thing out of them, and we'll have them as the control. There we have it. I've put the legs on opposite side of each other, and now I've soldered them together and made a little clipping thing. So when we put this in between these two, it will be basically the same thing, or exactly the same thing as just the two on the board. If you don't know what I mean when I say I put them opposite side, if you look at the diode and if you look at the place for them here, you'll see that there is a line. It says GE here, so I think it might be that they are Germanium, so that's cool. I didn't think that they would. Even if they do look Germanium, I thought they would be silicon, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, the line here indicates the direction it's supposed to go. And so if we just put them opposite direction, it will be cool. So let's plug in a couple of things and put this one here and start out with some basics. Okay, so I'll put this right here like so. And now it should basically just be stock. Let's find the guitar cable and some other things. Okay, so here is my guitar. Yeah, and if I press here, it should be just stock. And I'm gonna try to put it so that we can have the gain knob to max. Just because we really want to experiment with the gain. This thing has to do with the gain. If we don't put that a reasonably high level, somewhere a bit after noon, then the clipping thing won't even be relevant. So I put this one to max, and I'll just eyeball these to taste a little bit. So if you see me fiddling with them, you don't know what setting it is, but I also don't know. So yeah, here we have it now. Okay, so there we have the sort of standard setting of the pedal, and the clipping diodes are not in the line of the circuit, so if we remove them, everything will still work. And that's a mod you can see people do on pedals. They will remove the diodes and have nothing. So let's start with that. So the pedal sounds like this. And if we release the diodes, they're no longer in the circuit having any effect. And now it's the thing that happens is that it becomes super much louder, like 200% louder or something. So now we have this one just above 0. A little bit more. There. back on. And some of you might actually like that. You might think, you know, having no diodes will make it all better. And I mean, I can't really, you know, argue against it. But it's not really a distortion anymore. It becomes more of a overdrive or a dirty boost or something, depending on, you know, what you think maybe. But yeah, let's change to something else now. Okay, so we have the mystery diodes that the pedal come with. The stock sound is something like this. And to be perfectly honest, I think that's good. I think that's good. Let's put in what I know you all probably want to hear, or from the other videos earlier want. A small and a big red LED. Let's try that out. See what happens to the signal. Like that. There it is. It should start flickering. I don't know if you can see that it does. I actually think maybe I'd like that more. I don't know. I'd have to A/B it a little bit. But it's we would have to change something else out too, I think, then, because right now you'll see how much I move that pot. That's like almost nothing. And we're already at a level sound-wise that I think maybe is a little bit much. So let's move on, I think. But I think the only thing that makes me think maybe not going with that is that it takes away the specialty of the KLON. And maybe we should just use something that is a little bit more exclusive for something like a KLON. Obviously, you do whatever you want. Okay, let's put these in now. These are 4148s. Pretty common as well, but let's see what happens if we put that in there. I feel like it got a little darker or something. Let's put the stock one back in. I don't know. It's been a while since I did this whole experiment pedal videos. Maybe I've gone. There is definitely a difference between them, but I don't. It's hard to say without A/B'ing them in a recording, really. But I feel like the stock ones are a little smooth and nicer, in a sort of nicer way, you know, like a. Let's switch the stock ones out for these. And some of you might know immediately what this is, but for the ones of you who are maybe new here, this is bat 41. So let's see. Was there any difference at all? I gotta be honest, I don't know if there is a difference. Anyway, that's strange. I really thought there something would happen. Anyway, I have here, the next one is an N539, or two of them, rather I should say, because we're not doing anything asymmetrical at the moment. So here we have those two. I don't feel like, I mean, this one was louder, but I think it's just because less is going to ground, so it's more like this. You know? You know? I have a couple of LEDs here, so let me quickly just solder another thing together and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's try something else. So basically, imagine that you have 3 diodes instead. Let me draw it for you, maybe, and it will seem to make more sense. So if you think of it like here we have 2 diodes. This is an old drawing. But if we put one diode here, going into the next diode here, like so. But then we have one diode on this side, like this. If we build something like that, we can have asymmetrical clipping. And that means that the waveform, if you think of like a waveform, doesn't get cut down as much on both sides. One side is less. We can do that with some LEDs, the drawing I basically did. So we have this positive leg here connected to this negative leg, that negative, this positive to that. So it goes through. So let's put one here and one here, and then we have the middle 2 legs there touching nothing. That actually is. It doesn't really sound like a KLON to me anymore. It sort of became too much of an overdrive now. Another way we can do this is if we, for example, take away one of these bats and replace it with one of these mysteries. Obviously, I don't really know what these are, so I can't tell you that this will be asymmetrical. But in theory, if these have different values than these, then one way will be different. So I'm gonna make a little circuit, taking one of the mysteries and one of the bats, and we'll see what that sounds like. Because so far, we haven't really found something interesting, and I'm sorry to say. So let me just do that real quick. So here we have it now, the mystery diode against the bat, and let's just see if that maybe is a little bit fun. I hope it is. I hope we get something crazy. Well, the signal is lower and more back to normal, so we need to raise it a little bit. I kind of like it, I do, but it doesn't feel that asymmetrical. I feel like it's pretty good. So I think I'm actually gonna do something. I'm gonna add another bat. So I'm gonna open this up, and I'm just gonna heat this up here, something like that. And now we'll just see. Yeah. Louder. It got really louder. Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot to put this back on. Silly me. There we go. That makes more sense to me. I was like, what did I do wrong? Yeah, there are a lot of more diodes that I can put in, something probably more weird and wacky and crazy, but I don't know that I have any, to be honest. I know some of you guys have told me about the diodes you have, and I'm really jealous of you guys for all the cool stuff you have, but I don't think, I think I've sort of done what I wanted to do for this video. That's the end of this video. I hope you liked it. I hope this was interesting. I don't feel like changing the diodes did that much. And maybe it's because I didn't have a selection of really wacky and very common or something like that, but I just felt like the difference was minimal. And if we want to change them out for this pedal, I mean, obviously, a real, or whatever you want to call it, an actual, not a copy or clone, I mean, of a clone, things might be different there. But if you're buying one of these pedals, for example, and you want to mod it and change it, I think that, yeah, sure, mess around with the diodes and see if you can find something cool that works for you and that you like better than the stock ones. But the stock ones are germanium something, and they are pretty cool, just the way they are. I would probably check out maybe if one of these capacitors or one of these ICs, for example, what would happen if you change one of those. And I'm pretty sure if you did, you would find that those have a bigger impact, a more drastical change to the sound. But that's not this video. It can be another video if you guys are interested. Another thing that I didn't do in this video that I've done in my other experiment videos is trying different things. If you've seen the other videos, you know that I have a bunch of weird things that I tried putting in the clipping part of the pedals before, coil things and stuff like that. I sticked 2 diodes for this one just because I felt like that's, you know, the KLON cENTaUR thing. The diodes are the thing when it comes to that pedal. But if you guys want to just sit and have fun with me and just experiment with whatever happens, putting something between these 2 little alligator clippers and see what happens, then we can do that in another video. But you'll have to talk to me in the comments below and let me know that you want to see that. That's the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked it and will give it a thumbs up. And that if you're new here, you will subscribe, because we have more fun videos coming on loads of different topics, pedals that needs to be made, experiments that has to be had, if that's how you say it, and a little bit of guitar stuff, like building more guitars like this one. Until next time, don't forget to stay awesome and cool. And honestly, considering it's like a $15 pedal, give or take, it might go up to like 25 or something, but it's pretty cool actually. And you can tweak it on the inside. I mean, if you look at the inside of the pedal, you can see all the parts. It's very easy to unsolder them and just put in new things, so you could definitely buy this and tweak it and make your perfect KLON pedal out of it. Or at least I think you can do that. So yeah, I think this might be a pedal you should get and have fun with. Always have fun.